You've said about Chekhov something to the effect that we should be writing better plays than he wrote.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, he was writing a long time.
Good.
Well, he was writing a long time ago. Since then, and we've had so many things have happened. For instance, I always say, well, we have John Coltrane.
Right.
Now, that's part of our spiritual resources. So as our spiritual resources increase and our humanity increases, that we should be able to write plays, every bit to equal or better.
And why haven't we more often?
Well, I don't know.
Maybe we have.
Possibly we have, but I think it has something to do with as long as you hold that up there. And I take my hat off when you say Chekhov. He's my favorite playwright, but as long as we tell our playwrights, oh, you can't do that, that's Shakespeare, that's Chekhov, or that's Shakespeare, that's so-and-so, and as long as the theaters continue to relegate the contemporary playwrights to the second stage as opposed to the main stages, which is where I think they should do the Chekhov. It's very important to keep that alive, but I think they should go on the second stage and give the theater the stages over to the playwrights today. This is our golden age, whether golden or not, but this is our turn at it, and very seldom do you see that, and I think the playwrights need to take back over the theaters because this is who they belong to.
And take back over the theaters and make sure that
our work gets done.
The work gets done
on the main stage. So we're not relegated to a secondary position, and people stop telling us, oh, you can't write a play to equal of Tennessee Williams or Arthur Miller or Chekhov or whoever, and I think if you tell people that, then they don't aspire to do otherwise.
Do you see more and more kids wanting to be playwrights?
I can't say that I don't know.
Do you see less?
Well,
or do you get more? Is there less interest in playwriting now because movies have become such a prominent cultural?
I think it's in today's society, given a choice to a kid, say you want to write movies and you want to write plays, they go, I want to write movies.
Yeah, of course.
And so that's part of the contemporary society too. Yeah.
Did you write because you had to?
I wrote, yes, because I didn't know. First, I couldn't do anything else. But it was also, art is born out of necessity, and Romare Bearden said that. So yes, I needed to do that in order to sustain myself, to maintain my sense of self, my sanity, or whatever you want to call it. But that writing has definitely been a refuge for me. It's something that I needed to do in order to survive in the world.
Yeah. The notion of creating drama for you, does it get easier? Does it get more difficult? Your command of language has to be better. Your command of making language work for you.
Well, I think my understanding of drama, has increased, but that doesn't necessarily make writing the plays any easier or any harder. For me,
it just means you have more. Your circle of competence is wider, and you have more skills in your quiver.
And you have, none of us could have without self-confidence. I think confidence is like one of the greatest tools that an artist has, and without that, you simply cannot. You can't do the work. So
the fact that you could sit down and say, "I can do this."
Oh yeah. And I approach it the same way as I assume Picasso would approach his blank canvas, because he knows what he's capable of, and but he still has to do it, and that's the important thing. And there was this wonderful documentary called The Mystery of Picasso.
No, it's great.
And when you watch Picasso find the painting, he doesn't always succeed even. And that's good. So I approach with the same confidence as that. Otherwise, I don't think you can do the work.
Yeah. Your confidence is that you can create characters and put language that communicates a drama or a comedy.
Yes. Yeah, this is what I do. This is my art, and here are my tools, and I can use those tools to whatever effect I want.
Language is your brush, and
I can shout or whisper as I choose. I have learned over the period to do that. The same as Muhammad Ali, when he goes out, he has the jab and the hook, and and he's confident that he can use those tools to his advantage, and so I approach it the same way.
Music means what to you in terms of what you do?
Music, I suspect music came before speech, because with the music, you not only have the language, but you have an emotional reference to the music. So for me, everything is grounded in the music, and especially the blues music, which is Black America's response to the world. And the music provides you an emotional reference to these philosophical ideas that are buried there. And so, it's everything. At the beginning.
Last time you were on this show, you talked about 1998, I think.
Yes.
You talked about promoting black theater.
Yes.
Have you been successful?
No, actually, the situation, I believe, in American theater has gotten worse. And I'm not sure we should call it the American theater, because I don't think it's representative of America, you know. What we have basically is a European American theater, and these are theaters that are based on European American values.
Right,
there are 66 of them. They all the artistic directors are white men. So I would suggest if you were to take all the theaters in America, those 66 theaters, and put them in a bag and pull them out one by one, and assign 5 to Asian theaters, and assign 5 to Hispanic theaters, and 5 African American theaters with the same budgets and everything, just flip that around, you would still have 50 European American theaters and 5 Asian, 5, and 5 years after that, I think what you would begin to see is the beginning of emergence of a theater that you can call America, because everyone is participating in it now on the same level, and everyone is allowing their artistic influences to influence the whole, and eventually you arrive at something you can say, oh, that's an American play. It can only be an American play because it's developed on American aesthetics, not European American aesthetics, but American aesthetics.
And what's the likelihood that'll happen?
Not very, you know. But I want to do this one time just for myself, and make up a chart and just reimagine what the theater can be, and assign these various at random out of the bag, you know, let the chips fall where they may, you know. And I think it will be much more vibrant and vivid and much more exciting theater ultimately.
Yeah. But we've had black artistic directors of theaters, like Public Theater had George Wolfe.
We had George Wolfe, we had Kenny Leon down in Atlanta. Yes, but the mission of those theaters remain the same. As they were before. It just had black
by Joseph Papp in the case of the Public.
We had a black guy in charge of foreign policy in the United States. It didn't alter American foreign policy, other than this is the guy who's now putting that foreign policy in.
Now we have a black woman in charge of it.
Woman, yes, but it doesn't change the policy of the United States.
Well, that's because the president decides in the end the foreign policy.
Yes, okay, yes, but. You know, it's just putting a black person in charge does not make that a black theater, you know.
So you make it a black theater by doing what?
Well, when I go to these theaters, and they have this meet and greet, for instance, I'm going to name the theater, but I count 33 people who work at that theater, you know, carpenters, electricians, whoever, people working in the press office, they're all white. They're simply all white. Everywhere you go, you count them, you know, and they're all white. The black, or the guys, the security guards, you know, at the theaters, they're all black. I've never seen a white security guard in any of these theaters, but they're all black. You know, things of that sort. So, you know, the aesthetics of the theater, you know, the mission of the theater, the people who work at the theater, you know, that would give black designers a chance to work. You know, very few black designers have an opportunity to develop it because they simply don't have the theaters to work at. So you have all this talent out there that's dying on the vine simply because they don't have places like to work. And meanwhile, you have these 66, what is called American theater, I think it's 67 now, European American theaters, in which, you know, the European American artists have plenty of opportunities and places to work.
You're absolutely right on every, you know,
Yes.
but let me raise this point, Tim, of why. That you've got a lot of great black colleges.
Yes.
Why can't they have theater there?
Well, they do.
Howard, Morehouse,
Yeah, they do.
to take two.
Sure, absolutely.
Bill Cosby, I think, is given like millions and millions of dollars to Morehouse.
Okay, well, maybe it's his alma mater. I don't know. But
I think it is.
No,
Probably,
we're talking about.
No, it's not. He went to Temple. He went to Temple University.
Okay, well, we're talking about professional theater of the level.
Oh, we're not talking about, you know, regional theater. You're talking about professional theater.
Yeah, you know, there are a lot of college theaters.
What would happen if, I mean, the economics of theater are very expensive because, I mean, just turn the lights on cost a lot of money, doesn't it?
Yes.
Because of all kinds of things that are built into it.
Yes, absolutely. But at the same time, you know, people say, well, there's a crunch on the money, and I go, well, yes, Guthrie Theater spent $125 million on a new building. Act Theater in Seattle just spent $31 million a few years ago renovating a building to put 3 theaters in, and then they had a problem finding money to program it, you know. So I go, well, where's the artistic crunch, you know? I mean, it only comes when, you know, I think theaters don't very well. Sure, it's expensive, and, you know, and you may have had to cut your budget down from $9 million to $8 million, but, you know, there's still money to do theater, you know, and, yeah.
August Wilson, this man that I respect so much, has been on this program a number of times, and we've talked about all your plays, and your actors have been here. I mean, we've given a forum, you know. You seem to me, not new, angry for your fellow blacks, because there is talent there, and the worst thing in the world is for talent not to have an ability to express itself. And you seem angry about that. Isn't that a place for a great play?
No, possibly, but I would
Change my words if you like.
Well, anger is you implies you're out of control, man. I would call it a passionate concern.
Okay.
You know, that's the way I would put it. You know.
Is there a play there about this, or have you written all of your plays are about this?
Well, I would say that all my plays are more or less about that, but that's not to say that you can focus, you know, a particular play in terms of focusing the light on more fully on certain aspects of the society, you know, as I see. You know.